Indian convicted of murder and sentenced to life in a Huntsville cell, eating gruel and spoiled meat, and only dreaming of one more buffalo hunt or raid on a white man's settlement. It wasn't a life the proud Satanta could foresee for himself, so he faked an illness that earned him a visit to the prison's second-floor infirmary. Once there, he bolted to a window and launched himself through the glass to the prison yard below. He died on impact, breaking up a game of stickball that was in progress. That event, which was written about in newspapers as far away as New York City, occurred on the same day Lewis Taylor was released back into the free world. Taylor was not among the famous inmates. Neither was he guilty of the crime that caused him to be there. As he tried to explain to a judge who kept dozing off, he was in the San Antonio saloon celebrating his 20th birthday when a fight broke out between drunken cowhands from two rival ranches. It had quickly become a blur of cursing, breaking bottles, flailing fists, and wild gunshots. Taylor could only remember a chair hitting him in the back, knocking the wind out of him and forcing him to his knees. His next recollection was of a boot to his face, breaking his nose and causing a deep gash just below one ear before he passed out. When he regained consciousness, there was a peacemaker in his right hand and a sheriff's deputy standing over him, saying he was under arrest. The bartender, he later learned, had been shot and seriously wounded. The judge's eyes were closed, and he was snoring softly when Taylor pleaded that he'd never even owned a handgun, certainly not one as nice as that peacemaker. Nonetheless, he was convicted of attempted murder and sentenced to 5 years hard labor. Part 1. Chapter 1. Just a short walk from the Texas State Prison's front door was Dynamite Billy Wayne's Freedom Store, where released inmates, eager to resume a new life, could spend their paltry chain gang earnings and any cash they might have had in their pockets when taken into custody on anything from new clothing to one of the horses or mules waiting in a nearby corral. Himself a former inmate, Billy liked to brag to folks he was in the prison's inaugural class, a man who earned his living blowing open bank safes before becoming Texas State inmate number 19. Now he ran a thriving business in which he bartered for every dime his customers had in their pockets. No one, he insisted, should return home without a new pair of breeches, a clean shirt, and a decent-looking hat. If they could afford it, he also had boots in all sizes. In back, his wife offered haircuts and shaves. If, after emerging from his changing tent in their new finery, they still had money to spend, he led them to the corral. If not, he gave them directions to the nearest town. By the time Lewis was properly outfitted and groomed, he had just enough money left to buy a sway-backed mare that he hoped still had enough life in her to get him home to Gila Bend. He would have to ride bareback since his budget didn't allow for even a used saddle. The owner threw in a length of rope that could be fashioned into a harness. Before leaving, Billy Wayne offered him a token good for one free beer at the Cowman's Bar, a gesture of kindness he extended to all paying customers. Lewis, wary of ever setting foot in a saloon again, declined. Wayne reached into his vest pocket and pulled out a different colored token. "Seeing as how you ain't inclined to imbibe, which I must say I admire, take this one down to Minnie's Cafe, and she'll serve you a free bowl of cornmeal mush that'll stick to your ribs better than anything you've had in the coon's age. For her sweet tea or lemonade, you'll be required to pay." The mush was good, and the glass of lemonade took the last few cents of his prison bankroll. Lewis Taylor was dead broke, free, and ready to head home. As he slowly made his way southward, feeling the warm breezes on his face, watching white, puffy clouds float past, Taylor felt new energy surging through his body. It was, however, the stars at night that provided him his greatest